Hi guys, it has been a long time. I've been procrastinating a lot these days. So it's a lot of good news. So good news that I got one of my dream jobs. I never had a dream award job, but this could be the second best thing I could get. Uh, so I got hired into a really good company with the profession which I like, which is the quantum computing. So I've been like worked for 2 years in a startup that was not going nowhere. So I wanted to like see how can I get into a better salary or a better work environment where the growth is there, something like this. So I am able to do that. I will tell you which company and how I did it. So that is the goal motto of this video, to tell you about that goal, how I achieved it. So I got interviewed for Twitter, which is now XAI, and for Deloitte and for Google. So these three companies I was interviewing with, right? And one or two outside companies. So this was probably for remote or India, and the other were like IQM, if you heard about. It's a good quantum computing company. So that I was in the process, and few here and there. So I got selected to one of those, which I want to tell you. And so, first of all, job is not my first priority, which you might have known me from my videos, that I'm not the guy who love to do a job or something, but it kind of like I tried something of my own with this YouTube thing for like a year, and it didn't work out. So I'm kind of taking a rest, you can say, or like pausing it for some time so that I could have more stamina or have more saving or bandwidth to come back again sometime, someday maybe, or gradually do it. Let's see how it goes, right? So idea was to get away from job. That is the one of the reason I left my quantum quantum computing startup, which I worked there for 2 years. And the reason I left that, I think I left it around in 2023, early of 2023. And why I left was that, first of all, I couldn't see the leadership going in the right direction, right? And maybe they were going in that direction, but I was there for quantum computing. I wanted to excel something in quantum computing, but they were sidetracking in other stuff, which I didn't wanted to work for. Even I could have worked for it for timing, but I was not being paid for that work because I'm a very experienced machine learning, deep learning engineer, and I have like ton of experience in that field. And with that experience, if I'm doing a machine learning job, I should expect a lot more salary. And I was taking a very less salary in the content company because I was a beginner in that, and anything I will do in that will be a new thing for me, right? So I was okay taking less salary on that subject, uh, and doing something in that, but felt like the startup which I was working was going into other direction, and it was not like, what do you say, it was not balanced in terms of what I was getting paid and what was the work I was asked to do, and also I was putting myself in jeopardy. I left experience thing, now I'm doing quantum, then again you wanted to, they wanted me to go more into machine learning DL kind of environment. So that didn't sit right with me. And also I found that that leadership was good, I would say. It was not bad, but to reach somewhere like the what the vision I have for life, I need a better leadership than that. That will not. It is a good for somebody average, something like this. It will definitely do good in the future. I know that. But good is not requirement. Good is not requirement. I want things best for me. So somehow I felt like it is not the leadership which I was looking for. I won't say it was the worst, but it is not the what I was looking for. So we had some disagreement on those things, and yeah, and financially I was draining. I was saving nothing from it, but somehow from even that tiny, I could save myself like a 1 year runway kind of thing, where I thought. Uh, that I will start a YouTube something on the quantum on the math side and make videos which you might have seen in my thing. Goal was to start from the beginning of maths, like counting numbers, and gradually go toward hard math like calculus and these all things. From there, the goal was to teach you AI and all, which I did actually, right? So it's almost there. All the videos are in the playlist, so you can check that out. And from there, I wanted to like teach you how can we transition from AI to quantum. So that was the goal. This is the last part is the missing in my videos, that I would probably make someday definitely. And so yeah, that runway I had, but that was the plan. Like I thought, 1 year is enough. I could see some substantial growth in the channel, and that will boost me to perform a lot or maybe take more risk on that. But initially it did went well. I really got a good subscriber whose comments are so valuable to me. It motivates me a lot. It has motivated me a lot, but I don't think that's enough for now. Like I really found some good people from this channel, so thank you for that. uh, who appreciated my work, and I was able to help them in some sort of any of the point, right? So that happened, and I loved it. I have all the screenshot of my comments. I will very proud reading those comments, by seeing those comments. And so it was going well. I was making videos. I loved that part. uh, like I had another channel where I talk about life psychology or something, these all things. So I was also continuing that as well, and this math channel as well. So all the things were going in tandem. And so what happened was that when I came near to my saving, when my saving was started to like shrink, and I was living a very miser life. uh, and when you have no money coming out from, like, I've been a salaried employed for a very long time, so not money coming kind of put you on a low self confidence kind of thing, like put your steam, like you don't really feel good about it, like you know that your expenses are going out and out. Initially for 3 4 5 months I couldn't see like I had enough money, I was okay chill. And then like suddenly the expenses goes up, and you know that there is no money coming. And so this whole thing started to build a pressure on me, like, hey, I need to quickly sort out, this YouTube is not gonna overnight become woo, and I could start getting the money. I need to get something. The idea was to take help from a friend, maybe get some money from him for some time and keep pushing. But that idea was only when I could see some substantial growth on the channel. But the growth was very slow. I'm not saying that I didn't do good or the videos qualities are bad. Just that I don't like to spend a lot of time on this SOE, whatever the digital optimization kind of thing, where you push your videos to, like, I don't want to do that kind of thing. It's I just organically I wanted to grow. I don't wanted to spend a lot of time cutting and a lot of things. I just wanted to record the video and upload. Like I wanted to focus my 80% of time on like actually uh, putting in the quality of teaching instead of like doing. I thought like if you have a great product, it will go like it will spread automatically. That was my thinking. I thought I hope that thinking is right. So that was going, and because of that, the channel was not growing that much. So I resorted back to job searching. Like, okay, this probably is not doing. I'm draining financially. I thought I could take lend money, but again, I felt like when I take like help from money, I couldn't sleep well. Like, knowing that I have to pay somebody, and what happens like if I keep on accumulating, would I put into my spiral and like never come out of spiral, right? It's like when you play in stocks or something, when you lose money, then you take borrow money and put more money in it, and that kind of spiral down, and down the line you are like so much in debt, something like this, and recovering from that becomes very hard. So I didn't wanted to go with those kind of things. So that taking the help from the friend didn't really was not helping me mentally. So that option I didn't wanted to have. And Yeah, so that was a hard time, and one of the biggest thing was that because I'm living whole, society has a lot of pressure on you. It doesn't bother me, but it does bother my parents. I'm hard skinned. You guys probably know me, but my parents has to live in society, the village, whatever you call it, and they have some reputation to build. So yeah, I was doing the remote job. So yeah, whenever somebody asks me, like my parents will say he's working remotely. So do they feel like their son is staying in the house doing nothing or something like this? This is a big thing in the rural part of India. If you are if you are just not doing anything, you will not be respected. That is the hard truth. But nobody care. Nobody in my family thinks like that. Nobody like around my friends think like that. But what we can tell about outside people. So even my family started lying about like what I do. They continued telling, hey, I'm doing the remote job, but I was not doing it. I felt quite of bad because of that. My parents has to lie about this kind of. I told him that please tell him because it is giving me pressure. Because when you go outside, when you're relative or in a marriage or whatever, now people expect expenses from you because you're earning. You should do certain thing in a certain way, right? And I was not fulfilling those, or I had to fulfill lot just to have this societal pressure. So I was burning more money. I cannot be miser. They expect things to be done in certain way when you're earning something. So these kind of pressure, even I could see my parents not respecting me enough. Whatever, although I was paying all the bills, so it's not like I was only selling because for a very long time I'm taking care of my family. I pay like 90% of my bills, like 99% mostly of my household that have been continued even when I didn't have the job. My father is earning, but still I don't want him to like. I'm the son, right? Why would he do that? And I don't want to like say anything if he wants to do it, but mostly I was doing. So my finances was not just draining on my personal expenses, but I was carrying the household as well. So I could do it for 1 year, but initial 5 months I was able to do it very nicely. I didn't have to worry because I had as soon as I crossed that 50,000 mark, like when my money just went below 50, uh, this anxiety started creeping in. I so and then I tried to get a job in a good company. I started very late for hiring, like applying companies. And when I did apply, I think a lot of things is now fucked up because of internet, chat GPT and these all things. Everybody now is creating a good resume and sending. So these recruitment companies are getting ton of resume, having everything and filtering them out. They are also filtering through AI or whatnot. So getting your resume selected was a tough job. I was not able to crack that thing down. I knew if I met them in person, if they have taken, I always have done good in interviews. Like I have like a 99% record doing good in interviews. Rarely a 1% where I just didn't work out. Most time I was overqualified for the job. That's why I got rejected. That has happened to me. Uh, so yeah, so that happened, and I was not able to crack. And then my last resort uh, was to like go back to ML or something. That was like that is the last thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to do it. I has a friend who was working in a really good AI NLP company, and I used to work in NLP back then, so I had quite experience. And I thought that that was like a sure job for me. Like I have a good reference, have done good work, and something like this, right? And yeah, I was getting a lot of opportunities on LinkedIn, but it was from again startups and companies were not really great. I don't want to work under so much online. When you work in startup, it's so much line. You cannot experiment thing. You cannot learn so much stuff. It's just you have to implement. You don't have time to fail. And learning happens when you fail something, right? So they didn't have the stamina bandwidth to experiment something. These startups doesn't have this kind of thing. It's just pure work. Whatever you know, work. There is no time of research or something like this. So I don't wanted to go back that to environment. So yeah, I kept avoiding those things or companies. And the last resort was that this company which I told you my friend was working was a very chill company. It was paying good enough. It has good time management. They had a lot of research opportunities. So it felt well, okay, like just last resort, I will go back to ML or something like this. But still, in my heart, I wanted to work for Quantum, and I was not able to crack any company. So this company, I think it's, I would name it. It's actually Killbot. It's like very similar. It is a competitor of Grammarly, and the company's name is Quillbot. Right? I hope I pronounce it right. So they have done a lot of decent work in paraphrasing, and yeah, it has been like doing good, like from like previous 5 10 years, I would say. So yeah, I had a connection. He even made my friend helped me to made like resume what he thought that might work in his company. He made it. We spent like a week figuring that out, and again then he used his reference to send my resume. And you won't believe that I got rejected over there by HR. Because they are not looking somebody like me. I don't know. There was a culture that started in their company, like they mostly probably was biased over IIT graduates or something like this. So in their companies, they started. That was not the thing when my friend joined, and so yeah, he was just like me only. So he got hired back then, but now after the new hired was like IITs or something, so their preference was to more get from IITs or something like this. So my resume got shortlisted by HR who don't know shit about thing, and just she preferred to carry on interviews, something like somebody's from IITs only. So all the weak hard work went in the shit, and I got like was not selected, and it was my it was the last bullet I had. Like I was so confident that I has a good reference and probably will happen. It was one of the like money wise it was a good, research wise it was a good opportunity. Just that was not my favorite field, but still I was in such a like a bad place that I was ready to do that. And then it got turned out that like brought lot of anxiety to me. Like this was my last bullet and you fire it and nothing happened and now you have no ammunition. I felt like that. Maybe I had a lot of expectation on the reference that didn't work out. But yeah, didn't happen. And also, what should I say? Now it's good now. Like if they don't keep hiring people like this, the company is gonna probably not gonna good. And I don't think they are doing that great now with those IIT folks right now. So they are probably the owner has sold out from this company. Nothing is left. Now that company is not even in a good place. I knew that it was a sunk drinking, like it was a let Titanic back then, but still I wanted to like go and yeah, I would say my what do you say my like the reason for why I'm joining was quite selfish. I would say I was more looking toward my end, like what I could get, than giving what to them. So probably if could see my read my mind, I would have not hired me because I was just wanted to capitalize on that opportunity. Basically you're hiring somebody, but yeah, I know like from but one thing I can say about myself that I might think selfishly like this or something like this, but the past track record proves that even though I don't like something and whatever work I have done, maybe I have ill feel about those things, maybe I'm trying to exploit that opportunity, something like this, still I have worked faithfully. Although I might say this thing whatever, like I've been in situation like this previously, but when it comes to works, somehow I have to somehow, like even with that those ill feeling, I have performed enough. Whatever is money paid to me, I have returned back more than that to anybody who have worked with me, even with this ill feeling like hey, I wanted to have capitalized on the opportunity. So that happened, but still I don't like it's still I would say better hire somebody who is very positively want to work, really like that company, he's into that same field, he's so excited about NLP and these language model or something like this. And he might not know that as well, but still I would say the better hire would be that person, but I don't think they are looking that way. So yeah, like we both were with wrong intention, I would say. They are this IIT intention and everything. But still, I'm happy I couldn't got hired, because if I got hired, I would have missed the other opportunity which I am in, and it would be bad for them as well, getting a non-interested employee who's just doing bare minimum, right? That would have been the thing over there. But yeah, when this last bullet, last ammunition that had didn't work in my favor, it totally panicked me out. And luckily, that time Google reached out to me for their L4 or L5 something, L4 I guess, L4 hiring for a machine learning engineer. And I thought like maybe so this is the third time Google has reached out to me. Third time, third or fourth time. Let me see. Yeah, it's a third time I guess. The third time, right? Before two, I have made a video on that. You can see in my playlist. And I know there are so many people, and with Google, problem is that they're stuck on fucking DSA. Like they have been stuck for a very long time. Like, hey, you need to do DSA. So yeah, last time I did not fully prepared my Google interview because I was so excited to being in my first quantum job in a startup. It was not paying well, but I so overwhelmed by that feeling that it took me so much hard work to transition from a one field to another and finally getting a job that I thought like Google is nothing. I'm doing cutting edge. Like this is gonna beat Google, like something like this. I was totally optimistic and not realistic back then. I didn't even tried for, but I still believe that I did made a right choice because of that company. I was able to learn a lot of quantum. I was able to go Europe, work, see the culture over there. So that actually turned out to my favor. And I don't know if I Google what would happen. So that time I didn't prepared well. Just randomly went into the interview and did shit well. I think I went to the second or third round back then. That time I did they was in a so much speed of hiring they skipped the DSA part of me. I only had a telephonic interview from the HR only for the DSA part. They didn't ask me a lot of DSA back then. So that was Google Cloud, I guess. I think there is a difference between Google. Both are Google, but I think the Google Cloud guys are more practical and something like that. So within the team of Google, and they don't. I don't know, like if they pay so much. But yeah, it is a Google in the end. But yes, they are more practical. They are quick to hire or something like that. So they did skip my DSA, and I was not very grateful for that. I should have being grateful. But I know that I didn't knew like it was like my second name interaction. No, it was my first interaction. Yeah. Yeah, so still, yeah. Yeah, that I think I have this time I Google the original Google Reserve first. Previously, it was Google Cloud only. So India Google Cloud is more prevalent than the Google, and both time HRs are phenomenal. I love Google HRs. Like if you are hearing this one, they have one of the best HRs in the country. That is to the point. So that tempts me like how the culture is. The culture is so great. I could see from their HR, right? So it tempts me so much, but their method of filtering DSA is shit. I would say. I really loved all those HRs. So yeah, first two are Google Cloud. This time has actual Google. I don't know, but I think there is some difference between Google Cloud. Google Clouds are more practical. They don't focus that much on DSA. Little bit, you'll get through. Then actual the skill they want to hire for, they will ask on that. Two time I was able to skip. One time I was able to skip DSA, and it didn't work out in my favor. Like I could have worked little bit on more on DL practice, something like that would have helped me. Also, it would not help because I know DL back then a lot, but DL when I say is deep learning, but they asked me more on like Kubernetes and like deployment side more, like which I was not very experienced with. I was very experienced in the modeling side, but not the deployment side. So I couldn't have done much even though. So yeah, first one I lose like this. I was very excited for quantum. I didn't had any regret losing that Google opportunity. Second one also came when I was like just left my job and I was totally focused on YouTube or something. So I was too much driven by my ambition. So again, I didn't took Google lightly. This time they had some DSA, but the DSA level was very low. Like it was very basic. If I could have just given a week or something, I would have cleared it. But I am arrogant piece of shit. I am very ambitious. I was like, no, I'm totally locked in my thing. I will not gonna. They asked me, do you need extra time? Something? No, I said, go tomorrow. I have my interview tomorrow. And yeah, so yeah. So they gave. This was a very simple, easy DSA round, simple one. I could have done it if I practiced, but I didn't went through it. totally got rejected on this thing. But they knew that I didn't took any time for practice. They told me, hey, I think you hurriedly do it. I think you should take some time and we'll probably reach you back. They told me and they ghosted me. So second time, I could have uh, occupied the second one. Like, but I took it very lightly. I had saving. I was very logged in my YouTube journey. I was very happy with that. I was continuing that. So second goal not worked out. Third time when I was in lows of my life, full of anxiety, full of insecurity, like I was quite failing in my YouTube journey. Was not able to do make it something big. I have money, low money. Parents were not very respectful of me. They didn't care that what I was doing. Uh, yeah, so they expected to me have a job I was not doing. That was kind of disappointing to them. So I was in a lot of pressure. And this time, like, okay, although I don't like it, Google something, I know their process. And but this Google has a very hard DSA round. Whatever two Google which I've faced DOSA, they has very simple DSA one. This one is like, bro, like we're gonna take multiple rounds of DOSA. You better prepare, take some time or something. And HR was very nice about it. I took like a 20-day out time something for preparing DSA. Although I didn't like DSA, I forced my because I had this last ammunition of joining this company, which NLP company which didn't work out, Killbot, and now Google. I had a Google interview something like this. So yeah, I started. I had a telephonic round which I cleared quite well. Then I had a DSA round fix, and I fought. So I started preparing for a daily. I would practice like 2-3 hours of DSA, not wanting it, just feeling. I made a good syllabus, Chat GPT, and these all platform was really helpful preparing me for this thing. And I was not just preparing. I was thinking, okay, my programming is good enough. I would rate myself 3.5 out of 5. But I thought maybe I'll practice my programming skill will improve and that somewhere it will help me. But not necessarily. I was not enjoying it. I don't enjoy programming that much. I just more like implementing mathematical models. Learning math is like I enjoy math. But programming you just do to just implement things. So that is my thinking about programming. So that was going on. And I unwillingly I was practicing. It was putting a lot of pressure in my body. Like when you do something which you don't want and push you against it. I did it for 28, and for some reason they got delayed, delayed for another 15-20 days. And then we got cancelled again. I got extra time. So I was like that time I was just broken. Like my soul has like died literally. I was doing something I didn't want. I had lot of pressure. I was doing it. So whenever I do something, I start from very basic. So I was going like very back, like from the linked list, like what do you say? Uh, what do you call sliding windows, whatnot, like these kind of techniques I was learning over there. And in the end goal was to learn trees, big things, big data structure from small data structure, stacks, these all things I was learning. So I did quite well on few of the things. I practiced really well, but I couldn't reach the trees part and depth first search, breadth first search. That I was just there, and my interview came. And before that interview, they gave me some online interview, right? That actually broke the camel's what do you say back. So that was a automated interview just for my practice or something like this. Even they asked me like, do you need a mock and do something? I told him like, hey, I don't see a point of having a mock. Anyway, I'm gonna practice daily, whatever the time comes. I'm not gonna miss day. In a mock interview, if I done too well, I will be like what do you say? When you win something, you like take it easy. After that, you don't practice much or something like this. And if you do bad, I'm like I get depressed, like hey, I did bad, I need to do work, I put myself more pressure, and that I choke myself basically. So I didn't thought that mock idea. So they say, hey, don't take a mock, I'll give you online assessment, something like this, online test or something that will give you bonus points in your interview, something like this. They gave me a test. It has some big two problems to solve in 45 minutes. Straight away, I didn't knew answer of both of them. It was so big. I am like a slow programmer. Eventually, I solved stuff, but my speed is very slow. So those two programs I saw, it blew my mind. I thought that I will cheat on that because I didn't do something. Like I saw like okay, let's try. So there I took the screenshots of those thing and then send those screenshot ChatGPT get a solution or something. I used Gemini, ChatGPT, something like this. They both able was not able to get up the answer. Like I took the answer, even I pasted. So even though getting the answer from this and then I have to type back, so I cannot paste anything. So I have to type back. So even though I didn't calculate it, I didn't read the solution by myself. I cheated. That 45-minute was less. Like just on the brink, I was able to solve it. Even with cheating, like because in cheating, I have to take the screenshot, paste it, read the solution, then type the solution over here with my typing speed. So 45 minutes. The solution was so big and everything that 45-minute was like I just reached just before 45. Even cheating, with cheating, I was able to finish test before like just at the 45-minute with cheating. If I have to do it solution thing myself, I don't know how much time I have taken. And also that didn't work. So think about Google's interview which they sent me. Their own Gemini was not able to solve it, and they expect a guy to solve it. Wonder who did it. Yeah, but yeah, there are a lot of people who have been practicing this kind of thing, lead codes and everything for a year and year out. Probably those guys could be a best candidate. But problem with them is that when the machine learning part comes, they will be very dumb on that. I'm guarantee you that. You cannot have everything most of the time. But I think they give time, like a lot of days for last round, like hey, you can practice something, whatever. Yeah, but they only ask basic fundamentals in machine learning. They won't ask a lot of hard questions. So I think they expect the people to learn machine learning everything on the job. I guess that might be their thing. But yeah, I was already experienced one. They didn't want that. So I failed miserably, and then that has a very negative effect on me. Like I was like, I'm not even ready. So what is point of me doing this small stack problem closing window when they're gonna ask me this big level stuff? It was such a big question of trees or something like that. So after that, I just like fuck off. Like I'm not even practicing that well. So before like the real interview, I just had some revision. I was totally not interested. And unfortunately, that guy asked me not really hard question. It was a very I think easy question. Something like how this next word prediction happens, not without using ML, just based on like how you can store the keyword. Something like how this like can you store people's keywords like in a tree or something like this, and whenever like it's like a string matching, like string matches just predict the next word without element. So just with data structure do that problem. And I thought that it was not a very hard problem. If I would have just continued what I was doing before this online test, I would have I think done it. I took too much pressure. I thought they were gonna ask this hard level question, but interview asked me not simple. It was a very I was on the fly able to tell him. So I haven't learned about tries, whatever, right? How that work, but I just like basically reinvented the wheel on that fly without actually knowing that this might be the solution, like how trees and everything work. And just pure from instinct, I was able to give the solution, which have wouldn't be a solution when I practice something. So he was very amazed with that I was on the fly able to think something like that. I told him I have not read this thing, I have not practiced this tries everything. This is the data structure I think will be working over there. And on the fly when I did, he was quite impressed with me because of that, but still I was not able to implement it. So he gave me a lot of good remarks of thinking on the feet, but I was not able to implement it. So that comes cut the pack. So after a week or two, I got the result that I got like a decent mark, something like 10 out of 6 or something like this. But still, they want me to have one more DSA round, and the Google people, the HRs were so kind enough to tell me, hey, you can take any amount of time, and so any amount of time and come back and everything. So this thing, yeah, any time you can redo the thing. We really like you. I think you can do it well. Just need some practice. You can definitely crack it. So they were so nice about it. At the same time, uh, my so XAI also has this online online challenge which I was also parting. So they were very similar about DSA as well. So I was so disheartened and broken. I like, "Nah, fuck off, I'm not gonna like." And also one good thing was happening at the same time. For a very good quantum role, uh, for a very good quantum role, I got approached from LinkedIn from Deloitte people, and they wanted somebody who experience and this quantum role, and I was like exactly fitting that description. I was so happy, and that interviews was also going, and they are very slow. Like I would have one interview and another interview after a month or something like this. So they will have big gaps in the interviews, big gaps. And I was not knowing what is happening about this thing. I did past few interviews of them. I was like what should I focus on? So Google I already almost lost. So this thing where Google told me like, hey, you can this. They didn't told me. This is they told me when I actually hired for one of my companies. Within so basically, what happened is that yeah, I failed in XAI one because I was so disheartened, demotivated by the Google's interview. I not, thought that DSA is not my thing. Probably I stuck to my strength, which is ML, DL, in quantum, whatever not. And yeah, terribly. And because of that bad interview, I didn't even prepare for XAI. And that was also a very hard interview that came there. I don't remember what was the actual problem. XAI one was like, it's like was something to Tetris. Like you would have Tetris coming out. How would you fix them? Like how would you, it was something related to Tetris. Some problem with Tetris where you find the shape of a Tetris or something like this. How would you fax and merge or something like this? How would you rotate a Tetris at the fly and everything? So it was a big problem. It's not like a small problem. They expected me to do it in a very less time, and I'm not like perfect about that. So yeah, I know I know there are people I just think like they like my resume because of the overall structure of it, the experience, everything, but they ask stupid DSA question. I think that thing has to be broken. The system is broken at that point. So I failed in that as well. Google's DSA, both DSA round were failed, and only good thing was happening with Deloitte. It was a quantum. I didn't have to practice much. It was very natural to me. I learned like it was good, but they were very slow. They were very slow, and one of the problem was that yeah, one interview like mostly 20 there 30 days. So I had three interviews, which I passed, and I will never know like I'm being selected or not. Even after passing, like I was like finalized the I got the interview with CT only. That I did, it went well. So after that, I thought like I'm almost hired, right? And still they revert back like after like 30 days or something. Even having the third interview about my offer and stuff. Once that is done, another problem, which I'm very what do you say, very like it like take this problem has taken my nights and days off, gave me anxiety at my death, I would say. So what happened is that in my first company in 2018, due to some reason I didn't took the experience letter or something like this, and I worked for there like 1.5 years, something like this, and I did not take it. I think the reason was that they had like big 3 months of serving notice period, which I was not able to complete because of some medical reason or something like this. I wanted to join the company, they were not letting me, something like so. I just left it. Just only did like a notice period of like a month or something like this, and they freeze your salary, something like this, without in those notice period time. So you'll not be getting money or something like this. So that was very hard to survive for me. And I was very young. I was foolish. I didn't know how things work. I didn't care about it. I thought like if you have talent, don't nobody cares about the this experience letter, something like this. I didn't took it, but I have all the things, and that company was a kind of startup, so it closed. Like I could have taken it later or something like this. Not like I had a bad relation over there or something like that. They did a good job over there, so it was all good. But the company has turned off, which like is completely disappeared. So I don't know how to contact. And I didn't had experience later. So when I got Deloitte is background process where you need some like previous 5 years or something like that. They don't ask full, but at least previous 5 years or something like this. So I was just like, if I have done work more or something like this, they wouldn't ask me for this one. What I've written my resume, so they needed all the papers for this thing. So I did have salary slips and everything from my first company. So that was a good proof of my work over there and experience. And I was scared like how would I go, because what happened is like 2 years back, again a startup company rejected me because I didn't had this experience letter. I just like completed their 5 round of interview. They ping me being good. At the same that company also I was not wanted to join because again I take all the risks. Like it's my second time I'm doing YouTube. This was the first time. That time I was making a traveling channel. So back then also I was just very new to the quantum. I knew quantum that time. There was no company, like I was just early through the quantum. There was no quantum companies or something which would hire me. So again I was going back to MLDL. I cracked two companies. Back then I cracked two companies. This one was able to offer me a very good amount of money. I think around 20 LP or something like this they were offering me, and I passed everything. In the end, they asked me, "Hey, submit your papers." And now I was able to give them to. I had a one more company after that, so I had experience later of that. I initially thought they asked for the recent one, not all of that. Like most of the companies will ask the recent, not all of it. So I gave him, but they wanted all of it, and they didn't happy with it. Like, oh, only salary slip you need to give the experience letter. So this is like dumb. The women are like, so that woman was HR, and I know how they could be very professional. They don't want to like slide few things. I'm a great candidate. I can do a lot of things. I have like beaten all the other candidate. I am so good with your interviews. I have qualified. What is this thing now? What? It's not like I'm faking something like that. I already have salary slip. I have offer letters. This whole thing I've showed everything. They were not like they needed something, and I couldn't reach back to the company because that company has dissolved. And because of that, they found. And I was in a very bad state. That was after COVID. Like I was totally run out all money in my COVID, and like I was in a very bad state as well back then. So that company rejected me. That gave me trauma. Like I was like, fuck. Now in my future, any company would come like this and probably reject me. Even having talent, having experience, everything, solving their all the rounds and everything. And that gave me trauma. But yeah, that was a kind of good company. It was startup. It was a decent company. Thought I would do good. It was related to VLSI, like embeddings and a lot of hardware stuff. So I was very excited. But because I have some experience in hardware, like I literally made a like 4-bit microprocessor or something like this back then in my college. So I was very excited about it, like merging hardware and AI ML together. So I was very excited about that project as well, that company as well. But it didn't happen. After all, then again I got a 18 LPA job offer, which was in Delhi. It was a good it was an emerging starting company, not a very stable, but it was good. And they didn't ask me. They were not having this problem. I told them these are my experience, and they were okay with it. They just gave me offer, and I was almost about to join them, but I got a good teaching opportunity at the same time, teaching opportunity and a quantum job. So I didn't continue to so teaching one, I got like 5k. I used to get 5k 5,000 back in 2020, 5k for teaching 1 hour, and I would get like 6-7 hours in a week. So that would give me a lot of money back then, just teaching for 1 hour. So I was quite happy with the job. Also, I got the, because that time I was very new to quantum, and I was able to crack a quantum job. So same thing happened. I was almost able to join a AIML company, and suddenly in the end I will get a quantum job. So I always never pick the AIML and just choose the quantum. So that's the same time. This time also I got a quantum job, my first job, and again I sidelined all my AML work. I was getting paid very less, uh, for that quantum, very very less, like very, even whatever the previous, like usually what happens in IT, whatever the last earning you had, you always get more, because I was getting half of it what I was earning previously. So it was a very cheap job, but I was getting the opportunity to learn and everything. Did okay, and also I had this teaching opportunity. I thought maybe I will mix both of them and I will have a good earning and a good life, and not take the Delhi job which I got, and giving me 18 LP and 19 18. Like with bonus, it would have been 20, something like this. So I left that. Stupid. You might think stupid, but yeah, I took it that one. And yeah, I'm glad that I made that decision. I don't know what happened. I would have taken that job, but yeah, in quantum I got to learn so much. I was able to visit Europe, travel to five countries in Europe because of my quantum job. We won a prize from ESA. That was amazing, 30,000 euros. Travel opportunity, recognition, lot of things, like turned my life around. So that happened over there. A lot of things, but yeah, I was not paid enough. Still, I was living a very brokey life. So, so that trauma gave me, why I told you stories, that yeah, this company that I rejected, I was in a very bad space, and they rejected me because of strength. That was trauma was still there in me, and I was very afraid. At this time, I had lost all the thing. I lost a reference job, which was my last ammunition. I was very confident about it, but that didn't work. I lost all the hope. I got rejected from Google. I didn't participated well in XAI, and nobody was reaching out to me. A lot of people wasn't. Yeah, there was a one company, quantum company, IQM. Like my resume got selected, something like they say or something like this. I had a good, good, I would say, good calling around with HR. And the second round, they tell you, hey, there is a summer going on the Europe. Back then, the summer was going. All the people are out of the office. When they come, they will have me for the second round or something. And after that, they ghosted me. Like, what the heck? I was so dreamy about that job. Like, finally getting some, like it was in Finland. I really like Europe. Uh, so I thought that will be a cool place to start. And it's a quantum job. So that didn't work. So almost like all my lifelines were going up. And this was the only thing good happening, the Deloitte thing. And I was losing a lot of hope. What if this thing happens and will not go through something like this? But the process was nice enough. It's not like I'm lying or faking anything. Everything I wrote, what I worked. It's not like I'm like generating from the sky. Just that I didn't have one experience letter. So they were quite okay with it. Not okay, but I didn't know. It was always in super. I didn't know what will happen at the same time. They will say. So I was like, and the process so slow. Like whatever that happened, if it would have happened fast, I could have moved on from the subject and applied to a new company. But you don't know what is happening. The process is very slow, very slow. Like it took me 5 months altogether time to get hired from my first interview to the hiring. So you can think how much toll I have to, like I have to go sleepless now thinking, like overthinking on that stuff. What gonna happen, right? And also there was a wedding in the family, and it's very bad as an unemployed guy to go in wedding. Everybody is gonna ask you what you're doing and everything. And my mother used to say, like, lie. I was working online, and in my heart I know I'm so much pressure because of that. I thought maybe I'll have this Deloitte job before that marriage. I will be happy. I will proudly, boastfully go around like a hero, like a job guy, like something like this. Not like I would be very confident in my, like because when you're in a bad place, you don't have a very, what do you say, good communication. You will always be feel triggered, not happy, and the conversation with other people is not very good. Like inside you are just dying. How could you be happy with other people? So that was the thing. I wanted to be like in a good mind space, but that was not the case. I was hoping that thing, but still the Deloitte offer didn't came, and my background was going on, like it was delaying or something. But in the end, eventually I didn't got stuck. They did a good job seeing that thing. They did a quite good job verifying that thing. And one problem I came was that I did a freelance work with the teaching one, right? For that they were asking some salary slip or something, which I couldn't give because it was not a permanent job, it's a freelance job. But they were okay to take my bank statement where I received the money like on different month. And that is still it still went till like this, like I finished it like just like, yeah, it's still going on actually even after like 7 months and still you don't. So yeah, they just because it was so late, they were also like quite like they were the background was taking all time, so they let me join it. Uh, and good part is that I didn't lied anything in my resume. It was just perfectly what I did. Just that there was some proofs which is not in a like a professional manner. It's not there in a professional way. What you look like, all the setup like in a template way. But I did everything, written everything what actually worked. So there was nothing I was faking or something like this. Just that, and still now, a few days ago, like I submitted my bank account for this freelance work which I did for teaching, and they kind of accepted it, and I'm very thankful for the good because I knew I did nothing wrong. Everything I did, whatever work I did, just that the proof is not the way you're looking. I will show you bank statement. I'll show you the joining letters and everything. These all things, right? This is for one company. The rest of them, I had everything, and just in the freelance work, I didn't have a salary slip, and I had almost everything. So that worked in my favor. That happened, and but problem is that when you have burnt your hand doing similar thing previously, and this was only last hope in my life like that would place me. I didn't want to start like go for a very low paying again, take a startup, which will again terrible environment. It is good somebody who is very new beginner, but when you have some experience and you want to do more research work, I would not suggest being on a startup because startups doesn't have stamina. They want to do something which they know and they want to repeat it, and their learning is not there. So I don't want to go in that direction. That will be like very hard for me if I have to take that. I didn't, frankly speaking, I didn't knew what I would do. But yeah, thankfully everything happened after like a long 5 months of anxiety. I was able to get that job. I failed at the YouTube. Not failed, I will say. I tried and worked out. Probably I'll have some more like rest time. Take a rest for some time. Have some saving. Have some work under my belly in quantum. Already 2 years here. I could have gathered more experience. And today I love my team. Like I have a really great people. Like mostly US team and good time zone, good research work, lovely team leaders. Everything I'm quite happy with the work which I'm doing. And yeah, that is the time, and that period was like this was like 1.5 year of having no job, and these all things going on between weddings coming, people asking what you're doing, living a miser life, the same time working out, taking care of your health, a lot of things going through a breakup, uh, all this thing tough like happened nothing to, I had a one friend, two three friends, not one friend, lovely parents who were there with me at every point, help me out. I would share things with them. uh, those guys have been really helpful. I would say shout out to my friend Cheetah, Shiv, and Akash, whatever, and there are a few other friends, my parents, right? These people were there with me in those hard times. So very grateful. Even I had another friend who was in a similar situation. Still he is, and I hope he also gets out of it from this thing. But yeah, you can learn from my mistakes and how we did it. Sometimes you feel like, oh, you have this back job. Like I could go back to my previous company. That will be like a very bad thing. So there was a doubts in my head, like, hey, I can go back to like something goes wrong. I can go back to my previous job and ask for everything. I think they will be okay to join me back. But yeah, there were doubts in my head, like sometimes, like hey, like, but yeah, I knew the like that will not be right thing. Whenever you move on from certain thing, it's always better to go back. Whatever happens, always keep moving forward. Don't doubt your decisions or something at some point. If you've taken it, just take the consequences and move forward. But yeah, I hope I didn't waited around. I just waited. I'm not the guy. I'm most like the guy opportunity. Whoever the first opportunity comes, I jump on it. But I was very like so. Also, when you when you're alive, and also this job, I could have negotiated a better deal if I had abundance mentality. I was so scarcity mentality. Whatever they offered, I had to say yes to it. Although I got a very decent amount of money from this one as well, very decent, best in the market, I would say. But I am thinking more in terms of MLA. What I would MLA IML would have given me for like 5 6 years of experience. That is like tremendous amount of money. I don't think quantum will give you that much of money now, but in future it will probably supersede that. But yeah, I got decent money for my work, but I could have bargained better if I was in a very abundance environment. Right, that was not there. So make sure you have abundance and not scarcity. So yeah, I learned. Next time I will be uh, not very easy to leave a job. Have this abundance, have this thing going on wherever thing. Even the simple thing nowadays is like so I feel very unfortunate for newcomers, people who are in the job market. It's very hard. Like as an experienced guy, everything I had everything, skill, talent, experience, whatever. And for me, it is getting a very hard thing to get. What about the newcomers? What about the people who are only good with communication, no skills or something like this? Like something like this for them, how hard it would be. So it is challenging for everybody. Don't take anything for guaranteed, but still you learn like this. But yeah, I feel like God has been kind to me. uh, I don't believe in God, but I still say it. Whatever is there out, it has been kind to me. Things have stuck, but in the end it is resolved. And for me, like everything will not happen easily, something will come. In the end, I'm happy that it happens with all the problems, so I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, this 1 year of time has been very anxiety. Like I was like in a state where I felt like what is gonna happen if they're gonna ask about my experience letter, how gonna proceed with that, what will happen, how this Google interview is going, I'm doing something which I don't like and everything. So it was like there was a moment I told my friend these words, I remember clearly. Like it's like somebody have put a like a break on my chest. While sleeping I cannot, like my mind will wonder what happens, like in the states of like I overthink, I'll have anxiety in night, and just to distract myself I'll do something. I'll watch movies. I'll watch series or something. Just like some like very like mind, like what do you say, very hard series. Like there is like one is like you like watch it like what is like sitcom something. No, you need something complex, which takes all your attention or something. It was very hard time for sleep, and was those things. I couldn't study well because studying you required a lot of mental peace. I could not able to study new things or something like this. So there was a time where I was like stuck in between. I cannot move forward, cannot move back. I just has to wait for their decisions, like the hiring decision. And those decisions would come after like a month, 20 days or something like this. And but those periods were very hard for me. And thank God I did it. And when I joined, I first day, it was such a big relief. Everybody, like all my close friends, knew about all this thing. They were really happy for me as well. They know how much shit I was going through. So yeah, I think there is a lot of learning. Do let me know if you have comment, question, or anything which I want to describe. I don't know. Yeah, the goal is also like I wanted to make write a LinkedIn post describing all this thing in a very precise way. So what I will do, I'll take the subtitle from this video which YouTube generate and use ChatGPT and summarize this thing in LinkedIn post. So that was also my goal about sharing this video. But, because I wanted to update this thing, because I know there are a lot of people who would relate to me in their hard time, and I just want to give them a hope that things will go all right. They had happened with me, it will happen with you. You don't have to worry. But yeah, same lot of time I've been positive. All I told you the bad stuff, but there was times I would like push myself. The time YouTube video will make me like I'll do a lot of coding and manning for my YouTube videos like this. So those things will help me just to bring back my mind. My talking to my friends. There are close friends with whom I could share anything. I have friends like that without judgment. So those people help. Had a good set of good people around me which helped me throughout. So whenever you are taking such a hard decision in life, make sure you have the backup, you have the money, you have the supporting people around you, who could listen to you, can understand you. So I'm very thankful. So I hope this video helps, give this you hope if you're in some way stuck to it. Yeah, and have these regrets of not getting into Google X and everything. Anyway, but whatever ask, I am much better place now, uh, um, which I want to share with you guys. I hope this inspires you, this teaches you, this teaches you not to do the mistake which I did. But sometimes there are mistakes, like there is a saying, some things you will only learn by burning your hand. You cannot, like, you will have always this question mark, like, okay, I'm done. One time I have to touch it and burn it, see if that utensil is hot or not. So I know there are few learnings which you can learn from people, and there are few learnings which can only be taught when it actually happened. The impact seeds in your brain, and that reminds you at the time. So few of the things, I think you will do the mistake, even you are knowing it, that might not, but this is the final thing of learning. So I hope you go with that. Please do not let me know any question or something. I would happy to reply in a video as well. Uh, uh, right now I'm not able to think anything I missed, but after some time I'll watch this video. I think, oh, how I could have sold this one as well. This could be really helpful as well. So that comes in the end. So I'll see if I miss something. I'll probably make a part two or something or something. So that's it for today, guys. Please give your opinion on that. Share it to somebody who might need to hear this and have to be confident or something like this in their hard time. So see you, diamonds in the rough. You will sign. Bye bye.